crisis for the geek kind. Top geek officials admit they underestimated the hipsters' defense capability. Join the geek revolution and save the galaxy. Geeks from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future. They're doing their part. Are you? Want to know more? Join We Be Geeks and the Geek Revolution and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship. Listen to We Be Geeks podcast on iTunes and Stitcher or online at webegeeks.net. We Be Geeks, your voice for the Geek Revolution. Want to know more?
You are now entering the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.
Geek Speak, the definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 25 of the 365Flicks podcast. It is the year 2016. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about that, Chris?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, we've.
Did you have a good Christmas and New Year, etc.?
I had a decent Christmas and New Year. I mean, Christmas was all about the kids and stuff. It was okay. I ended up having to build Lego and crap, and
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Lego's pretty cool. We did get Pie Face though, and Pie Face is like the best game ever.
Yeah, I want to have a go at that.
Yeah, you'll definitely be getting pie-faced when you come up, because if you don't, you don't know, because it's not visual, there's no videos, you only have audio out there in listener world. Chris is Skyping this one because he's a big hairy pansy and he doesn't want to get wet.
I don't want to get wet.
It's pissing it down over here in little old England. I mean, what's new there? Britain, and we're on the border. We're it's technically still England, so I'm right and wrong.
No, it's Britain.
How was your Christmas, my good friend? Your Christmas and New Year.
Good.
Did you get your BB-8 droid?
I did. It's awesome.
I seem to remember there was a conversation that before Christmas it was like, if I don't get my BB-8 droid, there's going to be hell on.
Yeah, I had to buy it for myself, but I still got it.
Oh well, that makes it the best. Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I was going to get it wrapped
when it came.
I bought it on Amazon, and I was going to get it wrapped like with a card saying "from me to me" or "from you to you." But that's a bit shit.
Does that not just that would make it the coolest present ever?
Already is the coolest present ever. It's a BB-8 droid.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. You put a little video on Facebook, and I was all like, "Oh, I want a BB-8 droid," but I don't have one.
Yeah.
I'll just have to live my BB-8 droid fantasies through yours.
Oh dear.
And did you have a good New Year, good sir?
Yeah, it was alright. Pretty quiet. Went out on New Year's Day and it was alright. I'm not New Year's biggest fan, as you know. I'm not really a big fan of it.
Neither am I, really.
A bunch of assholes going about.
Yeah, like weekend heroes and have a go. It is full of assholes, especially in. I mean, as much as I love this small town in which we live, New Year is just the biggest time for doilums. To be fair,
it is, and I'm too much of a miserable, angry bastard for that kind of shit now.
Yeah, it's too much.
As Mark would say, I'm too old for that shit.
Too much shenanigans, isn't it? Mm-hmm. We don't need shenanigans.
I was out over Christmas. I was actually out more over Christmas than I was at New Year. I'm a big Christmas fan, as you know. So, but there was one night I was out over Christmas where we were stood in the pub, and there was just a bunch of young people dancing and being enthusiastic, and I just kind of thought,
young assholes. Thing about Berwick, if you're not younger than 15 or older than 35, you're not going to have a good time out there, are you?
No, that's true. But you see, I turned 36 this year, so...
Okay, we'll go 36. We'll go 37, and we'll call it even. 37.
That makes it future-proof.
That makes it future-proof.
For a little while.
Gives you another year. Well, I just want to wish all the listeners out there a very, very happy New Year. We did the big Christmas episode. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I love doing that. I would second that. Happy New Year to everybody. And
yeah, definitely.
Thanks for listening to us in 2015, and don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
We've got plans.
We've got some pretty big plans. I've got some things coming down the pipeline.
You have, yeah. You've got your second PC in the podcast cave that you'll not tell me what it's for yet.
Chris,
so
you don't need to know.
Are you actually building a Death Star underneath the podcast cave?
It's coming together. Although now I kind of just want to build a Star Killer base now.
Is it Star Killer? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why build a Death Star when you can build a Star Killer? You know.
Well, it takes longer to load the Star Killer, doesn't it?
It does, and it takes like the power of the sun, apparently.
Yeah.
Which, you know, in anybody's universe, that's far too long.
It's a bit of a fuss and nonsense, if anything.
But yeah, I want to reiterate the fact that, thanks for listening in last year. I don't always check the numbers and figures and stuff, but I have been pleasantly surprised over the last few months. You guys have really started tuning in your droves.
Yeah, you've been keeping me up to date on that. That's so fucking cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Considering we're just
everybody.
We're just two geeky fanboys who just want to talk about films we love, films we don't love, and have little rants at each other. And you know, that's all we do it for. We don't get paid for it. It's shenanigans. It's a bit of a laugh, and it's a hell of a way to kill a Sunday night, you know.
Yeah.
So with all that said, do you want to talk about where we can be found and where the good people can find us? And
yeah, let's do that.
Already.
As always, everybody can find us on the Facebooks and the Twitters. Just search for 365Flicks podcast. You can find us on a bunch of networks. Find us on Musings of a Geek. You can find us on Wicked Radio Network, on Tangent Network, on Geeky and I fuck that up every single time.
You do
Geeky
fuck up every time.
Network Global, and our British home, nerdly.co.uk. You can also look for us on iTunes and Stitcher, and pretty much all of the decent third-party podcast apps.
Yep, and
that was pretty professional apart from the Geeky Antics Network.
Yeah, but you always fuck that bit up. You always fuck that bit up. And I did want to give them a little bit of a shout out on this episode. They've been plugging us pretty hard in the rear. And they've been really good to us so far. Yomar's always shouting us out on his show. I got Elder Scrolls Online for the Xbox over the holidays, over the Christmas.
You told me that, yeah.
And I've been hitting that game pretty hard, and I'm going to be joining up with Yomar's, they call it guild, like his team on the Elder Scrolls. So I'm going to be getting some crack done with him, and hopefully we'll come up with some ideas of what we can do with them for the future. And,
good stuff.
And that relationship will progress.
I'll have to come up to yours and get a go of it. I'm a bit touch and go with the whole online play, as you know. I'm a bit of an ignorant prick.
I text you. This is where it's going. Like, I would say in about 3 or 4 years' time, 10 years' time, there's going to be no campaign mode. It's all going to be online.
I'll be dead by then. I'll be alright.
Who the hell wants to buy a game that has just campaign mode?
I do!
When was the last time you bought a game that was only campaign?
Witcher 3, suck it.
Never played it, suck it.
Alien, Isolation, suck it.
Was the DLC in those two games?
Yeah.
Online, there you go. Boom! What? Yeah, so...
What?
Yeah, so...
Yeah, you have to download the DLC, but it's still offline. You still play it offline.
So I'm going to be teaming up with Yomar and, as he calls them, his guildies, which I'm not saying that again. That's probably the first and last time I'm going to say that, because it is a bit, yeah.
No, you'll get into it and you'll be all talking like a guildie.
But I'm joining up with them. Apparently they have another UK member on there, so that's all good. I'll probably speak to him. Hopefully he's not a Scouser. If he is, I do apologise in advance.
That's you taking your copy of Elder Scrolls Online up to Granger Games to sell it because you have to speak to a Scouser.
Quite possibly. I did the same with FIFA.
Just in case there's any Scousers that listen. We don't need you.
Like I said, I've been checking the figures, and we do have one, and he is quite reliable.
Oh, apologies.
No, I'm not apologising. I'm just saying that we have one. I'm just saying that we have one, and if he does want to leave, we're not going to be that bothered. But yeah, 2015 is done. We're in 2016. It's hopefully going to be a hell of a year. we have some plans going forward. Things we've been working on for the last few months. Things that I've been working on for like a day, because you know what I'm like.
Yeah.
And we've got a few sort of guests lined up for shows when we can be bothered to get them in. We really need to work on our just plan for guests.
Yeah, people have work to do and stuff.
I know, but that's no reason that we should be depriving our listeners of our podcasty goodness. So tonight's episode...
It's a bit Joss Whedon-y.
It is a bit Joss Whedon-y. So tonight's episode 25 of the 365Flicks podcast, the first of 2016. So
yay! What
better way to celebrate being in the present and the year ahead than talking about the year just passed? Yeah. We will talk about the year ahead in a little bit. Later on, we'll be doing so basically tonight's episode is going to be... Going to do the usual news. I don't think either of us have very much because we did the Christmas episode and we got a lot of it out there.
That was only 10 days ago or something?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, was it? And we will be moving on to our top 5 of 2015 with a few dishonourable mentions, a few honourable mentions as well. And then I think we're going to talk about TV as well, won't we?
Yeah,
because considering
it's been a good solid year for TV.
It has. It certainly has.
So we're going to talk about what we liked in 2015, what we didn't like in 2015, and what we're looking forward to in 2016. X-Files!
And then towards the end of the episode, we will be doing our best bits of the last year, which probably sounds like what we've done the whole episode, but really it's not. It's more our personal best bits. The things we've loved about the podcast this year, and other things. So, would you like to kick us off with the news?
Well, I think you should start off with the news and explain why you're growing a beard.
Why I'm growing a beard?
Yeah. Because you do look like a bit of a rapist right now.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, well...
have you seen the pictures of the Yorkshire murderer? The Yorkshire Ripper, even? I'm not being funny.
I'm growing a beard in an attempt to seem a little bit more older, a little bit more maturer.
You can't possibly look any older than you do already.
And a tad more worldier, I suppose. I don't know, it came at the end of 2015. I got hit with I'd known for a few weeks, but I got hit with some big news, and it kind of made me think, you know what, I really actually need to start maturing a little bit, and what better way to mature than growing a beard?
Okay, I'm just jealous.
Plus,
I tried to grow one. Well, I kind of just went for stubble rather than a beard because I just get Keanu Reeves bald patches underneath my chin, sort of thing, and it just looks homeless.
Don't let me take anything away from the fact that it took you a little while to grow you a little bit of stubble, but this what you're looking at here, this is 8 months growth. So
Ah, right, okay. I'm clean shaven now. I'm all neat and stuff. I'm
not really too good with beards, but yeah, I just thought I'd give it a go.
Yeah.
Most other podcasts, fanboy podcasts, when people talk about the stuff we talk about, the geeks and stuff, there's usually one with a beard, and we don't have anybody with a beard. So I thought, you know what, I'll grow the beard out. I'll see what it feels like.
Fair enough.
Is that a good enough reason, do you think?
Aye, whatever.
Plus, I just want to be a bit more mature. But the longer the beard gets, the more immature I am getting. Is that news, though? Is that really news? Do people really want to hear about that?
Well, I just wondered why you were. That's all.
Plus, we've been talking about and we've been looking at trying to get the YouTube channel sort of going and trying to get the streams kind of thing on the go. And I feel that visually, my face is a bit repugnant. So I thought if I put a beard up on this thing, it might detract from the fact that, I'm a sloth looking...
From your repugnant face. Jesus Christ.
That's what I was thinking,
Wow.
You've got to give the lady...
That's really harsh on yourself there.
It is, but I'm cool with it, so don't worry about it. I thought if we're going to start doing videos, I need to be looking the part.
Right.
And, all, George R.R. Martin's got a beard, other people have beards... And they're all respected.
So you're gonna have to put in a bunch of weight and age 30 years as well, then.
And I'm gonna write a screenplay in which I kill all the best characters, just because I feel like it's necessary. So anyway, you've totally deflected. Yeah. You've totally deflected from the news. Let's get back into the news. We still don't have a bumper. News. Let's do it.
Right. Okay. Pardon me. So the first bit of news is after the success of The Force Awakens, the Disney CEO has confirmed that a new Indiana Jones is coming.
Oh, man.
What do we think?
Is it a new Indiana... Like, I've never read it. I did see that, but I knew you'd pick up on this. Is it a new Indiana Jones movie, as in, like, it's going to be a new Indiana Jones, or is it just going to be Harrison
They've
Ford
not confirmed if Harrison Ford is going to be back in it.
Surely they won't just bring him back to, spoilers for Force Awakens. Kill him.
Chris Pratt's going to be in it, isn't he?
Well, we all know Chris Pratt's going to be in that movie. He would make a pretty good Harrison Ford, though.
Yeah, he would.
I'm not even talking about Indy. I'm talking about like an actual... He would just make a good Harrison Ford.
Yeah, I think Chris Pratt is the obvious one. Nathan Fillion, maybe?
No, Fillion's going to be Nathan Drake from the Uncharted games when they eventually make that. He's going to have to play that role. That's perfect for him, like, personally.
I'm not really familiar with that. That's PlayStation only, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back from the days of when I used to play on my PlayStation. Or even have one.
Yeah,
I read that.
I would watch a new indie film. I mean, when you think about it, the sort of quality of the last Indiana Jones film is around about the same quality as the prequels of Star Wars and like what happened. So yeah, I've got faith in Disney.
I didn't realize
do a good job of that.
I didn't realize that because they got that through buying Lucasfilm, didn't they?
Yeah.
I didn't realize Indiana Jones came under Lucasfilm. Like,
oh yeah,
I knew like Lucas had a hand in it, but it was his.
Wasn't he like producer or something?
I'm sure it was his original concept as well. But I honestly,
do you think Spielberg would still direct it if it's being done by Disney? He doesn't get on with Disney, does he?
Christ! After this last week, is he going to be getting on with George Lucas?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, I read that, and I can't say I was overly fussed about a new Indiana Jones. It would be nice.
I like me a bit of indie, as you know. I like the indie movies. Well,
the worst thing about the Kingdom Skull, the Crystal Skull, apart from Shia LaBeouf and everything else, was the simple fact that it's like, yeah, we're making a new indie movie, but they were still kind of setting it in the sort of era, the era, and it was kind of like, no, like, if you're going to do
during the wall.
Yeah, but if you're going to do it, update it.
Yeah.
Update it a bit. But then you're running the risk of just being Uncharted or, Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. Yeah. It all kind of depends what they do with it. I mean, so what you got? So,
yeah, one of the things that came out over the last couple of days was one that you probably won't be bothered about. And to be honest, I'm not that fussed, but every time they come out, I do watch them. And it's Dimension. They've lost the rights to Halloween now. So the rights to Halloween have reverted back to Miramax. So
Dimension that made Scream?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, no, Miramax made Scream, didn't they?
Oh, sure. I don't know. Meh.
Dimension anyway. So they've lost the rights to Halloween, but there was rumours that Halloween Returns was coming, which was going to be they were going to put it as Halloween. It wasn't going to be Halloween 3 for the new movies. It was going to be Halloween 3 from the old movies. So you know how you had the third one, which was like the Season of the Witch or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was all about hobgoblins and bollocks.
Yeah, their idea was because they did the first two, which were decent, to be fair.
Yeah.
The first two movies with Jamie Lee Curtis. And then they had the idea of doing a different, like an original story every Halloween.
Yeah, and it was crap.
Which sounds good on paper, but no. I've never actually seen that, to be fair.
I saw it years and years and years ago, and it was dink. It wasn't Halloween 1 or 2, Dimension were planning.
To be honest with you, mate, the last Halloween movie that I saw was H2O.
Really?
Yeah. I think H2O is underrated. I liked H2O.
H2O is underrated.
But the fucking movie ended, I don't know how they brought him back, but it ended with Jamie Lee Curtis chopping Michael Myers' head off. So the whole idea of the movie that was going to be like one last time.
Yeah.
And then they just fucked that up. But I mean, how did they bring him back?
Yeah, I think...
Bit of crazy glue or something.
After H2O, I think, was it Resurrection?
Yeah, something like that,
Which
yeah.
I don't remember the particulars of how they brought him back. But basically, at the start of he killed Jamie Lee Curtis.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he killed
Jamie Lee Curtis?
He kills Jamie Lee Curtis at the start of Resurrection, and then he goes back home. But when he gets home, a reality TV company have moved into his old home, and they're shooting like a horror...
for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't watch it.
It was like Big Brother, but it had Michael Myers in it.
And then they had the stupid Rob Zombie ones, didn't they?
You know what, though? I actually really enjoyed the Rob Zombie ones.
Yeah.
Both of them.
I'm not going to watch that shit.
Which is why I was a bit pissed off when they said Halloween. I think it was Halloween Returns was going to be the new one. I was a bit pissed off when they said it wasn't going to be the Rob Zombie one, but apparently it pissed off a few people, as he always does.
Well, if you got a shit name, you're going to be a bit...
But I mean, all is not lost, because apparently Miramax are shopping it round and they're hoping to find a buyer soon.
Right, oh well.
But
I mean,
if it goes to another company, you know fine well it's going to be straight up reboot. You know that.
They've already done it, haven't they? Twice or something? Or is that Freddy Krueger?
They've done it a few times, but you know fine well they'll just do it again, because why not?
Yeah, I'm a bit of an old school man when it comes to Halloween.
I like Halloween, the old ones, I love them, but I quite enjoyed the Rob Zombie ones. I would be interested in watching another one. It's just...
I mean, you remember when we did I think it was the Jock and Nerd episode, when we did the scariest movie moments, and
he was in
one
there,
of mine was the original Halloween when he was standing outside our bedroom window, because that genuinely did scare me, which is why I don't really bother with the new ones, because it's just a bunch of pish. Anyway.
So do you have anything else?
I do. Let's see. Right, okay, so a bit of Marvel news is that Mads Mikkelsen has been confirmed as the main villain on Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That is going to be cool.
That's a hell of a cast.
Cumberbatch versus Mikkelsen, that's awesome.
Like, I was already sold on Cumberbatch. And is it Rachel McAdams is going to be in it? She's playing like the female lead alongside Cumberbatch.
All right, okay, I didn't know that.
So I was happy with that. Mads Mikkelsen, though, to put him in a Marvel movie as a baddie against Benedict Cumberbatch, this is like, I'm just hoping that this movie's going to be as dark as I want it to be. I'm not saying they have to go full Daredevil or full DC. It just needs to be a bit darker than the rest of them have been so far, because I want to see Cumberbatch just facing off against a badass.
Well, they're kind of, in the TV universe anyway, they're kind of experimenting with dark stuff, with sort of various things in Daredevil, and certainly pretty much every scene that David Tennant was in Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
That's some pretty dark shit for a Marvel, property. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'm hoping for that. Like, I think it just needs to be a bit dark for that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a thing about Doctor Strange, to be honest with you. I really don't know anything about him. But I will watch it because it's Cumberbatch.
Well, exactly. But do you not think this is maybe one of the ones that, much like Guardians of the Galaxy and much like Ant-Man, we're best off maybe not knowing everything right now, and let's just go in and...
Well, you know what? Well, we've discussed previously what happened with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And then the same things happened with Ant-Man, where I kind of went, I'm not bothered about that, really. And then I bought it yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? And I watched it last night, and it was fucking fantastic.
It's a really good film.
Yeah.
Really
so I'm not going to dismiss a Marvel movie again. DC, fine, but not Marvel.
Oh, piss off. So we got some Game of Thrones news. I mean, the big things that we already know, the likes of... we already know that they're doing the bait and switch with Kit Harington. It looks like he's coming back, but we've been getting set photos and teaser trailers of Bran Stark coming back. Looking less...
Well, he was always going to be coming back, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's looking a hell of a lot less whiny than he did the last time we saw him.
Well, he's been doing his Jedi training, hasn't he? So
he kind of looks like a bit of a badass in the trailer, like the little clip.
So do you think we'll get to see him flying? What the hell's the name of the dragon?
Draco. Was it Draco?
Draco. I was going to say Drogo, but that's
Drogo.
That's not him.
No, that was Khal
Drogo.
That's
Khal Drogo. Yeah.
Or Dracon. It was something.
Maybe Dracon?
It was something like
something
that. Aye.
Dragony, yeah.
Because that was my theory, wasn't it? Like the visions
theory.
he was having, he was inside, like he was the dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, I had another theory, but your theory made more sense.
They tend to. But the other thing was...
Fuck you.
With Bran Stark coming back, we've got some cast news. We've got Essie Davis, who played the mother in Babadook. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, it was shit.
Yeah, you know the mum?
Yeah, maybe.
She's basically like the Australian equivalent of Talia Shire. I do apologise if Talia Shire's, Australian. But the way Talia Shire was in the Rocky movies, Adrian, I just think of that woman.
No.
Well, anyway, she's going to be in Game of Thrones. She's playing a character in a play. She's like an actress in a play within the show, and she's actually going to be in that play portraying Cersei Lannister. Which at first I was reading it, I was like, an actress in a play within the show. Oh, fuck off. And then I was like, oh, she's playing Cersei Lannister. Off with her head. I was just thinking,
or shame.
Shame. But then...
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't... It doesn't sound the best of ideas to me, to be honest, but it's Game of Thrones, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean...
Whatever happens,
we'll give it a chance. We'll give it a chance. But then, because I'd read about that, I didn't actually realise that we've had some extra cast news. A couple that I didn't know about. Richard E. Grant is going to be in it.
Oh?
I'm looking forward to seeing him in Game of Thrones. That could be quite interesting.
I've forgotten his name. Lovejoy. Isn't he going to be in it?
Swearingen.
Yep.
Aye. I would have been happier had you said Swearingen, not Lovejoy.
Captain Blackbeard.
For our American audience who maybe don't know about Lovejoy, it was this... I'm not even going to describe what Lovejoy was.
No, it was a TV show in the 90s.
Oh, a lot later than that. Has to be.
Was it later than that?
Must be like mid to late 80s. 90s. Was it the 90s?
I thought it was the 90s. But I might be wrong. I don't know.
You're probably right.
What the fuck is his name?
Ian McShane.
That's it. Aye, well done. Yeah. I think I've read that he's only in it for 1 or 2 episodes. He's not in it for the whole run.
I was hoping he was going to bring some Deadwood to Game of Thrones.
Get him on the screen with Peter Dinklage.
Oh, him and Dinklage, that's a given. I think he would only take that job if he's sharing the screen with Dinklage. That's the only way he's taking that job. But also, we've got Max von Sydow, fresh off The Force Awakens.
Yes, I read that, yeah.
Is to play the Obi-Wan to Bran Stark's Anakin. See the way I did that?
Right. I did see what I did there.
That's pretty much all I had for Game of Thrones, plus the fact that I'm just pumped that it's coming back. I'm really looking forward to it.
We're not getting it until May this year, though, are we?
No, they've delayed it a little bit. Is it going to start being like that? Are they going to start delaying the show as much as he keeps delaying the books? Or
well, is that possible? Because I read the other day. This is not something that bothers me particularly, but I know that a lot of people will be pissed. But you're not getting the new book before the TV show comes out.
Good.
So, but this is, what is it, book 6?
Something like that, yeah.
That he's been writing for about 5 years or something. Because he kind of wrote the first ones like a bastard, and then just kind of went, yep, I'm writing now. Ooh, shiny. That kind of thing. So yeah, it was on Digital Spy or something like that the other day that the new book isn't coming until I don't know if it's at like when the series is finished or if it's halfway through or what, but you're definitely not getting it before.
I'm happy about that, because if there's one thing I hate about people who watch Game of Thrones, and I watch Game of Thrones, but the ones that read the books, I hate all that shit when they're like,
yeah, you know what, Paul, who we went to see Star Wars with,
yeah,
he the series where spoilers if anybody hasn't watched the old series, was it season 4 where Joffrey got it in the first, like the second episode or something?
Yeah.
Paul had read the book of that scene, and there was another huge scene later on, wasn't there? Was it not? Was that the head crushy bit?
Yes, aye.
And, so he knew the whole series of that was coming, and he was a cocky cock about it. Pretty much the whole way through the series, he was a cocky cock.
Well,
so.
People's not going to be able to be cocky cocks anymore.
Well, no, they're not. But it's gone off book anyway, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah, so they're saying. But I mean,
like Sansa wasn't supposed to get married to Ramsay.
But that was just awesome writing that. I want to see Sansa like going through the mill, basically.
You horrible bastard!
I just cannot stand her.
So, have you got any more news?
One more, and I'm pretty sure you might have it on your thing. Christopher Nolan has dropped.
Oh yeah, Dunkirk.
He's dropped some details on his new movie.
I am excited about that. Yep.
World War II epic, as Chris said. It's Dunkirk, due to drop July the 21st, 2017. I quite like some of the names in the running, though.
Tom Hardy's in there, isn't he?
Oh, Tom Hardy's always going to be in there, though, isn't he? You got the likes of Kenneth Branagh as well. But the talk is that most of the main cast is going to be relatively unknowns.
Okay, that's all right.
I think it would be nice for Christopher Nolan to work with some unknowns and get some people out there.
Can't you get Tom Hanks in there just playing the same character as Saving Private Ryan?
You know Tom Hanks is going to be in there.
That would be good if he did that.
Most likely.
Oh, no, that wouldn't work though, because that was fucking D-Day, not Dunkirk. Stupid.
Can they not just...
Timey-wimey? Timey-wimey.
Yep, timey-wimey.
Yeah, get Tennant in there as the Doctor and like take him back in time to Dunkirk.
That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, Nolan's dropped details of his movie, which Well, surely he's not going to go all sci-fi with it. And I mean, it's a war movie.
No, he'll not do that. It's a war film. He's making a war film. Which will be fucking awesome.
But how does Christopher Nolan make a war movie? Like, how does he do this?
As long as bloody Tom Hardy doesn't end up behind a fucking bookcase at the end of the movie, I'm okay with that.
Really?
Behind Hitler's bookcase or something.
That's a good idea.
No, never that.
How would you feel about Tom Hardy playing Hitler, though?
No, you get Gary Oldman in there to do that.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else?
I've only got one more thing. Have you read what George Lucas has been saying about Force Awakens and about Disney?
Yeah, he doesn't like the retro feel.
He doesn't like the retro feel. He described Disney as a bunch of white slavers. That is some shocking fucking stuff to be saying.
It is.
He said he always tried to innovate with his with the prequels. When he was making the prequels, he always tried to innovate for each new movie. Well, we saw that how that fucking went.
Yeah, exactly.
You complete tit.
No, he needs slapped upside the head for that comment. Like,
he wants to be embarrassed as hell. I think he has actually come out and apologised for it.
He has, but I mean, for fuck's sake, he had to. You can't let that statement stand.
I mean, Jesus Christ, to be going out and describing Disney as fucking white slavers and stuff. That's. I mean, you don't do that.
We know that Disney aren't particularly the nicest people on the planet. We know that, unless
I mean, they're a big corporation.
Oh, they're
and,
massive.
Obviously they own Marvel and they own Lucasfilm and fuck knows what else, Pixar and what have you. But so I know they are a big corporation and all that. But
yeah, and you don't.
He's made an absolute fool of himself.
Oh, he's made an idiot.
You know what? You've got your hundreds of millions of dollars, from this deal where you sold your company. They've made a better movie in The Force Awakens than your entire new trilogy. Shut the up and go back to your ranch and close your doors. You.
Definitely, I totally agree. The man has taken a walk, and it's not hundreds of millions. It was like 4 billion.
Was it billions? Was it? I could
It
remember.
was 4 billion he sold that for.
Who do you think you are?
I was expecting your new trademark phrase there, but we didn't get it.
How dare you, sir?
That's the one. I'm totally with you. I read it and I sat there and I did literally sit there like, how dare you? I took your phrase. What are you doing? What an idiot.
He just made an ass of himself. A complete ass of himself.
Is this shocking? Is this because they kind of just said...
I think it's because they didn't listen to his ideas, because he wanted it I don't think he wanted the original cast in there whatsoever. He wanted it to be a whole new cast, more droids.
more droids. Of course, it was more droids.
It was supposed to be like the grandchildren or great-grandchildren or something of the original cast.
Screw that.
Basically, just like a kind of a soft reboot kind of thing,
Which
set in the future.
Let's be completely honest. This sort of is The Force Awakens in its essence. Sort of is a soft reboot. It has very. I know.
But
it has a lot of the same tones. But if you're going to do that, and if you're going to have the fans let you off with it, and we're going to forgive Disney for going down that road, or JJ for going down that road, you need the original cast. You need some of the nuance of what was already there. You need those little bits. Otherwise, we ain't going to forgive that shit.
I think we've still gone to see it, but like you say, after the sort of damage to the franchise that the prequels have done, whereby people are going, oh, Star Wars, oh, fuck that shit. Now it's breaking every record there is to be broken. I think it's like a few days away from breaking Avatar as just basically the biggest movie ever.
It's nearly there.
It's nearly there.
Nearly there, yeah.
It will be there, let's face it.
It'll get there. It will get there, but I think I was reading something where they were basically saying that domestically it'll be there by tomorrow, domestically, which is like America. But I think they're saying globally it might not get there for another week or so.
Has it? On the last episode, you said that the Chinese market, and was it the Indian market hasn't been released yet?
See, I was saying that
I'm not sure.
I was saying that to Lindsay earlier on. Everything I've read so far about the takings that this money's been making and the bank it's been doing, everything was always ending with And of course, it still hasn't opened in China. Hasn't opened in China. And then there was this one article I read that basically said that domestically it's going to hammer the record. However, globally it might not make it. And then at the bottom,
that's just untidy though.
I know.
If you just leave one record that it's not broken, that's just untidy. That's upsetting.
And then way down at the bottom where it normally says, and by the way, this movie still hasn't opened in China. It was like, it still hasn't opened in China. But to be fair, China's not a massive market. And I was like, whoa, where's that come from? Like, I was
Is this the same prick that said that 2015 hadn't been that big a year in the cinema?
2015 hadn't been, my God, 11 billion this year, estimated in just sheer cinema revenue. That is insane. It's the biggest year in cinema history.
Slaver. So yeah, that's the end of let's just wrap that bit up by saying, George Lucas, how dare you, sir?
Yeah, I'm
so let's talk about 2015 then.
I'm fully with you there. So we're going to go into 2015 and we're going to talk about our top 5 best of movies.
Hi, this is Normie from Knuckleballer Radio and Zombie Cast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows on the Geeky Antics Network. Don't forget to check out the rest of the gang over at geekyantics.net. Warning, there might be rants and food ahead and possibly inappropriate behavior. Don't tell anybody, though.
I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Blake from the History of Bad Ideas. And we'll get back to your regularly scheduled program here in just a second, geek listeners. But we do a weekly podcast called The History of Bad Ideas.
Yeah, where we'll discuss things like television or movies or music or games or any other thing that falls into our geek-related podcast knowledge.
You can find us on Geek Life Radio, Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, or Radio-Blitz, Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, or you can listen to us whenever the hell you want on iTunes and Stitcher.
Check us out. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
It's been a big year. It's been a
huge year.
It's been a massive year. I did go through this whole thing and pick out some movies that, had come out this year that had maybe, done more than it possibly should have. And I picked out some, movies that were big and weren't big, but I ain't going to read them all off. We'll just go into our top 5s and we'll do some dishonourable mentions, some honourable mentions, and we'll get it all out there.
I've got a little bit of listener poop shoots as well.
Did you get listener poop shoots?
I got a little bit.
I put it out there on the Facebook page, but I got a couple of things.
Have you?
But nothing major. I think mostly people were just like, oh, by the way, I had sex this year.
Okay.
Why that's a thing, I don't know. So let's just kick it off with our top 5 movies of the year 2015. We did 2014 last year, and it was a bit of a hit. There was a few surprises in there. I get the feeling
that our lists will be pretty similar. As I said to you before we started recording, I didn't put The Force Awakens in my list. That's nothing against the film whatsoever, given the rant I've just had.
Yeah.
It was just I thought it was too obvious, but you've decided to put yours in, so I felt like a bit of a prick for saying that, but not too much of a prick because of the beard.
I did. I did for 1 second think to myself, I won't put Force Awakens in, because like you say, it's too obvious, but I was like, you know what? At the end of that movie, and we said it in the last episode, I was sat there a little bit crushed, a little bit deflated, a little bit anticlimactic.
I wouldn't say crushed, exactly. Crushed is a bit of a strong...
I really did. We were walking out of there and we were getting in the car, and then once we all started kind of talking about it, I was sat there I don't know how I'm going to review this, because I don't actually know if I liked it. And I was like, and I don't actually know why I didn't like it, or why I did like it. I was like, this will be the hardest review ever. Luckily, we waited a couple of days.
I think that was a really good call, because our original plan was to, on the way home, record an instant reaction thing with Paul and Ash. But I'm really, really glad that we didn't do that, because that would have been a bit downbeat, if anything.
Yeah,
I think, you know what? There was pretty much the whole way through the movie, as we said when we did our spoiler-free review in the last episode, the whole way through the movie, the set pieces and the special effects were amazing. Yeah. The practical effects were amazing as well. The story was excellent. I just thought that there was a shitload to take in. as you were watching the movie.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
Then we can talk about the ending now, because if you haven't seen the movie yet, then what the fuck have you been doing?
Yeah.
So at the end of the movie, I just felt like it was a bit of a Lord of the Rings syndrome, where it could have ended. It could have ended as Rey left in the Millennium Falcon to go and look for Luke.
Yeah.
That was, I know, right? I felt like it should have ended there.
Yeah, it should have.
I didn't need her flying away. I mean, we got to see more Millennium Falcon, which is always good.
Yeah.
But I didn't need her flying away and then landing and then climbing up a cliff, on whatever planet it's on, and then finding Luke Skywalker and then having him turn around and say absolutely fuck all. I think that was, because we wanted to see Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
As Luke Skywalker, and that's why we didn't mention whatsoever in the last episode, because what was the fucking point?
Yeah, what was the point? I mean, as Ash so spot on said, we had that big picture where it was like they were all sat around the table with their scripts, and there's Mark Hamill sitting with his script, and it's like, yeah, what the hell was he doing there?
I think he was just sat there going, this is bollocks.
I think, honestly, he was just sat there going, so how much you paid me again?
He was just sat there on Amazon going, ooh, buy, ooh, buy, ooh, buy.
He was like...
Think there's a Luke Skywalker figure?
Definitely.
Come out?
Definitely.
For this?
Definitely,
really?
Definitely. With the Obi-Wan
No, I
Kenobi
just think that's why we felt a bit... Because we've been waiting the whole movie to see Luke Skywalker. It should have ended about a couple of minutes. I don't know how long it was between her leaving the planet and, you got her sort of hugging Princess Leia goodbye or whatever. Was she still Princess Leia, or was it like General Leia?
General Leia, no.
And all that, and then she left. That's where you end the movie. It's like Empire Strikes Back, where the Millennium Falcon takes off and they're going to go away and rescue Han Solo.
Yeah.
That's how you end your movie.
Definitely.
We didn't need that. We didn't need Luke Skywalker in there. Save him for the Episode 8. That's what I thought.
At that point, I was sitting there thinking, right, she's going to go and find Luke. I was like, right, this movie's still got half an hour to go. This movie's still got half an hour to 45 minutes to go. And then that happened, and I was like, okay. Like,
honestly, that's why for me.
I get that. I get your reasoning, and I'm exactly the same. I was kind of just like, either give me Luke or don't give me Luke. Don't tickle my balls and dangle him in front of me. Like, just give me him or don't give me him. And by that point of the movie, I didn't need him. I really didn't need him. In fact, I would say...
No, you'd had, as I said, it was the Han Solo show.
It was the Han Solo show.
And that was absolutely fuck all wrong with that. You had Han Solo sort of kicking about with Chewie and the two new characters, and that was awesome. It
was awesome. We didn't need him. But anyway, we're putting a dampener on the movie. The movie which did.
That's not what I intended at all. I just that's my mum and dad haven't watched the movie yet. Sorry. So my number 5 of 2015 was Jurassic World.
Yeah.
That
was a good shout. Good show.
You got Jurassic World on your list?
No,
I didn't think you would.
I had it as an honourable mention, as I was always gonna, because I did love it. But I watched it a second time and it didn't resonate again. Whereas the first time in the cinema, I was like yourself. I was like everybody else in that cinema. I was sat there like a child. Same way I was for Star Wars. I was sat there like a child, loving it, absolutely loving it. But then with the second watch, it was like, just things really started to knock me off.
It's getting better for me the more I've got it on Blu-ray, and I think I've maybe watched it 2-3 times since I bought it.
Yeah,
and it's getting better for me every time I see it.
Well, maybe I need to give it another go again. But
I think you should.
I just think the second time I watched it, I was just kind of like, it's not a patch on the first. But it never was going to be, by the way.
Well, no, it was never going to beat Jurassic Park. For fuck's sake, it's Jurassic Park. But
and I think it was the turning Dr. Lou into a Bond villain. Like, it's still...
with his stupid turtleneck jumper. Yeah, I know.
Still annoys me. Still annoys me.
And the whole the story with D'Onofrio where they want to put the Raptors into fucking military service and all that annoyed the fuck out of me.
It was a bit stupid, like.
That still annoys the fuck out of me, and the rapey older brother still annoys the fuck out of me.
Yeah, just constantly staring at the girls.
Just staring at the, like, in the queue for the rollerball thingy, and she's staring at them, and it's, ew! Fuck off and stop staring at me, you little prick!
I like Jurassic World. It was because my list was literally like a top 16, and then I managed to I managed to easily get that down to 10, and then from the 10, I really struggled to get it down to 5. I got there in the end.
I had to put a couple of them in honourable mentions, but
I've got a few honourables.
I've managed. So that's my number 5. What's yours?
So my number 5 was, funnily enough, in a year that had quite a few sequels and quite a few reboots. This was quite a big sequel. It's one of our friend over at History of Bad Ideas, Jason Brigger's favourite movies of the year. It's Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Good choice.
No. That is in my honourable mentions. That was just a joke. I would never have put that in there. It's in my honourables, though. So, my number 5. You're going to kick me in the head because I literally just said that I got it down from, like, 16 to 5. And I did kind of cheat a little bit. And I went a little bit Blake off History of Bad Ideas. And I have a split on...
Oh, no, that's a first for 365. It
is a first, but I couldn't drop one of them. And the other one I really wanted in there because the same guy's in it. It's Furious 7. You know I'm a big fan of Fast and Furious. Mm-hmm. I absolutely loved that movie. Furious 7 was brilliant, and with the whole Paul Walker dying and then they had to delay the movie and all that, it just had an extra sentiment to it. As good as The Rock was in that movie, he was awesome in San Andreas.
Yeah, I've got San Andreas in my honourable mentions.
So,
I did love that movie. The American flag above the fucking bridge
that was
annoying.
That was annoying. You did sit there and
there was no need for that. I think we watched it separately. I texted you at the end when I got to the end of the movie and they did that. I was, for fuck's sake! And I think you replied saying that was my exact words when I watched the movie as well.
Even Lindsay turned and looked at me with a little bit of disgust, like, what on earth? And I was like, it is American. It is American. So yeah, put Furious 7 and San Andreas in there. I love Furious 7.
Fair enough. I'll let you off for that one.
It was a cracking movie, but as good as The Rock was, he was just phenomenal in San Andreas.
I love San Andreas. So my number 4.
Little interesting tidbit though.
On you go.
On Furious 7, it was the 3rd highest movie of this year.
It was a bit of a shocker, wasn't it?
It was a little bit.
Yeah.
1.5.
It was the whole Paul Walker thing.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I think, like, people are really warming up to the Fast and Furious franchise, but at the same time, with the death of Paul Walker, it was like everybody had to go and see it. It was one of those, like, where were you when Furious 7 came out? Okay, it wasn't nothing like that, but it came out and everybody went to see it. So yeah, you're number 4.
My number 4 is Avengers Age of Ultron.
Wow, number 4. I was kind of half expecting that to be higher for you.
No, because there are other movies that took its place.
We really do have a contrasting list here.
Did it go higher in your list?
No, it didn't. It didn't make the list.
All right, I was going to say
it didn't.
On New Year's Eve, I didn't go out and ended up putting on a bunch of Marvel movies to drown out the fucking fireworks for the dog.
It's always a good way.
And I watched Avengers Assemble first, and then I watched Age of Ultron straight after it. I know it's not as good as Avengers Assemble. I know this. At the same time, you've got in my mind, it's a decent villain. You know, obviously not as good as Loki, but that's where Muggles. That's where the Muggles fail. Isn't it?
Yeah, going down your Harry Potter route there.
That's where Marvel kind of falls down, is the portrayal of their villains.
Yeah.
But you know, you've still got Spader in there.
Yeah, Spader does a fantastic job.
Given an awesome performance as Ultron, and you know, I mean, the bit where he rips off Thingy's arm. and kind of goes, that I'm sure that's going to be okay and stuff. That's still awesome, and there's still a lot of funny scenes in there. You know, the scene that you loved towards the start of the movie when they're in they're at the party.
Oh, in the penthouse. I love the penthouse.
Aye, you know, that's a good scene. It's a solid scene and all that. Nothing happens apart from at the very end when Ultron attacks.
It's sort of kind of like, and I'm probably going to get shot in the foot by absolutely anybody who loves this film, but it's sort of like a Godfather moment in a way. You know how the start of The Godfather or the start of Godfather 2, you have the big party sequence where you're meeting people, you're re-meeting people, you're getting to know people. That Avengers Age of Ultron scene in the penthouse, it's kind of like that. It's like, let's get to know these guys again. Like, this is who's in this movie.
Yeah.
Let's
See, that's what we were worried about, though, wasn't it? We were worried that because it had been 3 or 4 years or something?
Yeah.
Or 3 years. 3 years since Avengers Assemble and Age of Ultron. We thought, are they going to spend the first 40 minutes reintroducing us to the characters? But they didn't. It was straight into the action.
No, they just got
it was a good set piece with the Hulk and the bit where Tony Stark, please be a secret door, please be a secret door. Hey, that still cracks me up. It's just a very Joss Whedon thing, and I'm a Whedon whore, as you know. And yeah, I know they spent a lot of time building up Phase 3, but
see, though, I'm all right with that.
There was no way that wasn't going to happen.
Everybody pisses and moans about that. Even Joss Whedon pissed and moaned about the fact that he had to put a lot of stuff in there for the Phase 3. But you know what? I've got no problem with any of that. Any of it.
I think the only bit that didn't really fit in for me was the bit where Thor goes to the
Lazarus pit.
Yeah, you could have maybe just left it to the bit where Scarlet Witch with his head.
Yeah, yeah.
And he saw it. You could have maybe just left it at that. But the setup for Civil War when they were on the farm and they were like Tony and Cap were arguing and stuff. That's all good stuff. And the special effects were amazing. James Spader was amazing. The main cast were amazing. Anybody who doesn't like the movies.
It was on my list, but I dropped it for my number 4, which probably is on your list given what you just said before. But my number 4 went to Ant-Man.
Now, that's actually in my honourable mentions.
Wow, Jesus. These lists are very contrasting.
We've grown since last year.
We definitely have.
Pretty much identical. Yeah, look at us.
We've realised how much we hate each other's movies.
I only watched Ant-Man last night, so for the first time. And I loved it. I loved the guy. Is it Michael?
Oh, Michael Pena. Michael Pena.
He's fucking awesome in that. Yeah.
So good in that.
I mean, the fact that he gets the final scene in the movie.
Aye.
Where the bit where they were doing like a sort of Oceans type.
It is. It's like
bit
Oceans,
where they were going around the different people involved.
It's done so much better though. Like he just when he's telling the story,
but they're all speaking in his voice. That was fucking so funny. It's funny as hell
when he gets that very last scene and he's like, and then she said, "And get ready for this." Yes. I was just like, oh man,
But they had one of them. I can't remember if it was the first time or the second time they do it, but they had like one of the people that he was doing the voiceover for go, damn. I was fucking pissing myself. Yeah, it's a good ass movie, and Michael Douglas is brilliant in it.
Yeah, he is. He's really good.
Even at the very start, where they try and do like say the Patrick Stewart sort of flashback CGI and. What X-Men movie was it? Was it Days of Future Past?
Yeah. No, it was... or was it the... Oranges.
Oranges.
Aye.
But I don't think it looked creepy. I thought it looked quite good.
I literally... Because me and Lindsay watched it together, and I sat there and I goes, damn, Michael Douglas is looking pretty damn good for himself. I was like,
damn.
I was like, he is actually looking pretty good for his age. And Lindsay was like, yeah, that's clearly that's clearly CG of some sort. And I was like, right, okay.
You massive tit.
But the thing is, I got the... with Ant-Man, I got what I wasn't expecting. I got the Iron Man syndrome. Like, I didn't think that was going to be good. It ended up being amazing. I got Guardians of the Galaxy syndrome. I didn't think that was going to be any good. It was amazing. I've said in previous episodes that I had all the faith in the world for Guardians. There was always a part of me that thought, this is just a huge risk and it's not going to pay off.
Do you think that's when they do their best work, though?
It's definitely is.
It's the risky movies. Because maybe they just say, do your thing.
Yeah, and that's why I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange. It's why I
can't wait for Is that out 2016?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's why I'm kind of looking forward to the Black Panther movie when it gets here.
Yeah, I mean, the image of the Black Panther...
Oh, he looks pretty badass. And then when you saw him...
Even the short clip of him that we saw in Civil War, I thought he looked amazing.
When he's chasing down
movie.
Cap, he does look pretty badass.
I think it looks amazing.
So that brings us to your number 3.
Yeah. So now this is the one that I wanted. The one that I wanted to watch before we started recording tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you for why. Because I did have a movie in my list, but my number 3 is Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
Wow.
It replaced Spectre.
That's alright, I understand that.
Now, I'll tell you for why. It's basically the same fucking movie.
Okay.
There's like a secret society, and they have to. So the secret society is kind of ruling everything and all that kind of thing. But I have to say, I enjoyed Spectre. Loved this. Too strong a word for that. I thought Spectre was good. Skyfall was so much better. I know you don't like Skyfall, so while I liked Spectre, this movie did that story so much better.
Right. I haven't seen Spectre, but
I'll lend you the Blu-ray. Oh, sorry, Spectre. Sorry.
I've seen.
Sorry, go ahead.
I've seen Mission Impossible, and I loved Rogue Nation. I thought it was excellent. Excellent. Yeah, it was good. It was really good. For what the movie is and what the franchise is now. But I haven't seen Spectre, and I have no inclination to see it, if I'm completely honest.
I will watch it again. I will see it again.
But again,
I don't think he needs to make another movie now.
Right.
Because it ended his saga quite well, I thought.
But he's not making another one, is he? Or does he have one more?
Is he not still contracted to do another one?
Oh, right.
But then he said he didn't want to, and then he said, I didn't mean that, and it wrapped it up perfectly well, unless they bring Christoph Waltz back in somehow. The villain was much better than, no offence to Christoph Waltz, because Christoph Waltz, the villain in Rogue Nation, I thought was a lot more sinister.
Yeah, it was Sean Harris.
Yeah,
oh,
he was awesome.
He's an amazing actor anyway.
And, spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen the movie, but at the end where they have him trapped in the glass case, that was awesome as well.
That is pretty cool.
But you know what? I thought, like, Tom Cruise, he's still got it.
He has.
He was doing his action scenes like a bastard.
But that's the Scientology juju for you, that, though.
That's what it is. That's what it is. All that face touching and shit.
Yeah.
So, he's still got it as far as I'm concerned. And it was a good story, and it was good practical effects as well. And it did sort of it's not identical at all, but it's the basis of the movie is the same as Spectre, I thought.
Yeah.
So I thought that Rogue Nation did it better.
I'll give Spectre a go at some point if I can be bothered. Skyfall, I didn't like. I really didn't like it. But yeah, I'll give it a go at some point, and I'll see how I get on with it. So
what's your number 3?
My number 3, yeah. This one really came out of left field for me, and although a lot of people kept telling me I was going to enjoy it, it's a biopic. It's not necessarily what I would normally put in my top 5, but the movie Straight Outta Compton about the NWO, Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash and all that. The one about the NWA.
I've not seen it. I'm not.
I know you're not into rap music or like that whole scene. I wasn't necessarily there at the time when all that was kicking off, but I was kind of on the back end of it. And
I know you and Paul have told me a few times that it's not about the music; it's about the story of the music. I accept that completely. I just
to say it's not about the music is a bit strong, because it is. It's a lot about the music, but it's more about the story. It's about what they were dealing with at the time. It's what they were trying to get out there, the persecution they had to endure, the way they were treated by the media, the police. There's like a scene in the everybody knows, like there's a scene in the movie where they're doing the big concert. It's like the concert that really put them in the public eye when the police turned around and they were like, look, if you sing that song, F the police, fuck the police. They're like, if you sing that song, you're all getting arrested. You're all getting put in jail. And there's a scene, Ice Cube has literally stood at the front of the stage, who's played by Ice Cube's son, who is fantastic, as he should be, because it's his son. And he's looking out at the crowd, and you can see all the police kind of coming through the crowd, and they've all got their hands on their guns. And you're just sat there thinking, any minute, one of these police, like, he's going to pull the gun out and he's going to shoot him. Like, it gives you that sort of, like, that tense kind of... And then he kind of turns around to MC Ren, and he's kind of like, yo, Ren, I got something to say. And he's like, what up? And then he spins the decks, and he's like, fuck the police. And it's just like, instantly, all the hairs on the back of my neck, all the feelings I could possibly have at that point in time, whether it's anger, whether it's sadness, whether it's happiness, I was just feeling it. I was like, fuck me, it's such a powerful, powerful scene in the movie. And it's not even...
See, that, for me, it's... I don't know who any of them are, or anything like that. I really don't know anything about the story.
I won't lie, apart from Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. Like, I didn't know much about the rest of them. I didn't know much about MCU. Eazy-E, I knew about Eazy-E as well because it's Eazy-E. I didn't really know anything about the other two who were just basically like DJs and hype men. Like, but you didn't really need to because they didn't really focus on them. It was mostly about Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and Dr. Dre. It did kind of end in a place where I was like, right, I could do with another 2 hours. It was already 2 hours 45, but when that movie comes to an end, I'm like, right, I need another 2 hours here. I need another 2 hours. So
they're maybe going to do a Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit extended version.
You know what? If they bring out a Straight Outta Compton 2 or, whatever it becomes, I'm assuming it would be like Aftermath or something like that, I would watch it because I was hugely surprised and massively impressed by that movie. I really wasn't expecting it.
I will give it a watch. It's not the kind of music that I was into when I was a kid. I'm just so because of that, I kind of thought, meh.
I always liked the music.
I was always more of a Michael Jackson, Rick Astley man, so...
I always liked the music and I always liked the performers. I just didn't really know much about the story of the time. So the way they portrayed it, I mean, as well, you have to assume that Ice Cube and Dr. Dre are taking license on the way that they showed Eazy-E because he's dead now. So it's like they can show whichever way they want. And he is, to be fair, a bit of a prick in the movie.
Right.
But by all accounts, he was a bit of a prick. So, maybe they're just showing him in the light that they saw him.
I don't know what you mean. Is it Rick Astley?
No, it's not Rick Astley, and it's not Michael Jackson either. Michael Jackson, by the way, he made $75 million last year.
They brought out a new album last year of his, sort of like back catalogue type thing. I bought it; it was good.
Your number 2 movie.
My number 2
of 2015.
That our sort of top 2 here might be the same, but maybe not. My number 2 is The Martian.
The Martian, nearly. It's in my honourables.
Wow, didn't make... Wow,
yeah.
Okay. All right, okay.
It was
The Martian.
It was basically pushed off, and you're going to know what movie it was pushed off for. Yeah, I wanted The Martian. I wanted it badly, but I had 2 movies on my list that was sort of the same, as in they were both set in space.
All right.
Yeah, my number 2 was Force Awakens. So.
All right, okay. Oh, fair enough. I was trying to think there.
But The Martian, I had it for a long time on my list, and it was only this afternoon that it went. It was a hard one to do.
Did you have to do some sort of soul searching and stuff?
There was a bit of jiggery-pokery going on, a bit of, stuff like that. I couldn't leave The Martian on having, what was I going to do? Martian at 2 and Force Awakens at 1? Like, it was just going to be stupid.
I know what you mean. So that's why I left The Force Awakens out. Yeah, I love The Martian. I mean, have you finished the book yet?
I haven't, no. I've not actually got back on it.
No point now. Yeah, he gets home.
Really? I think I fell asleep during that part. I know what you're saying, though. Like,
it's a good movie. I mean, anybody who's read the book going in to watch the movie, just sort of fair warning, there is a lot more in the book, as is always the case. Yeah, it's always the case of that, and, you sound like a broken record when you say that kind of shit. But there were parts of the book that I was so fucking looking forward to seeing.
Yeah.
That I didn't get to see, so I was a little bit disappointed with that. But on the whole, the movie is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, the movie was great. I loved it. Not necessarily what everybody was saying is Ridley Scott's return to form. To be honest,
I would actually tend to agree with that. To be honest, I mean,
do you think? Because everybody really hyped him up on that. Everybody was like, "This is Ridley Scott coming back to his best," and it's like, I watched it. And
what had he done before that? Like,
well, I don't know, but if you're comparing
Prometheus,
if you're comparing Ridley Scott to like his best movies ever, you're talking about Gladiator and you're talking about Kingdom of Heaven. It's a steep mountain to climb to be hitting those.
Yeah,
skills.
I know what you mean.
And as much as I like The Martian, I don't know if I'd put it up there with Gladiator. But I did love the movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It is a good movie.
And it made my honourables, it really did. And like I say, it was a hard one to push out. It's just full of it tonight, aren't we? Fucking 2016 is going to be a long year if this is how it keeps going.
You're full of it if it's hard to push out. So what was your number 2, Force Awakens?
Yeah, I went for Force Awakens for my number 2. I mean, how could I not? It's been unbelievable. It's breaking every record it can possibly break. I think the only one that it has to break now is Avatar of all time. Which
fucking go and get it.
They're basically saying it's going to do it by Monday or Tuesday. It's and then it's going to surpass that. The thing about Avatar though, I'm sure they said Avatar took 72 days to get to where it is. Force Awakens is knocking on its door after 17 days.
Fuck Avatar.
Yeah, fuck Avatar in the ass.
Yeah. So before we get to the number ones, would you like to hear a bit of listener poop shoots?
Go on then, give me some poop shoots.
Right. Okay, so Paul Trotter said The Martian. He said Ex Machina, Everest, Age of Ultron. I've not seen Everest.
Yeah, I watched Everest. It was good.
I read a kind of a review for it, and from the review, it sounded like a bit of a... Remember when we first saw the trailer for it and it said all these names, and I said to you, that's going to suck. That's always what happens when you get so many names in it and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And from what I read about it, that's kind of what happened, no?
Yeah, they have all these massive names and there's a lot of big names in it, but yeah, I don't think it's suffered because of that. They maybe don't all bring their A game because they don't have enough time to, but Jake Gyllenhaal's good in it. Any movie he's good in is good in my book.
Yeah. So we also had a bit of feedback from the Free Trade B team.
Wow, this is becoming a regular.
I know, isn't it? Best pool team in Berwick.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Richard Tucker said The Force Awakens. It's a bit of a split one. And Spectre. Let's see, who else have we got here? Chris Meekin said Age of Ultron.
Yep.
And he said... No, that's the only one he said. I'm just following the conversation that thinking on Facebook Messenger. So Aaron Patterson said The Martian, Jurassic World, and 50 Shades of Grey.
Motherfucker.
And Paul Byrne said
Here we go.
Legend.
I had Legend. I did have it for a little bit.
Just as a bit of a segue there, my number one is Legend.
Wow. Jesus. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
It was a kick-ass film. Good British movie.
So yeah, I love that movie, and I think when we came out of the cinema, I put a thing on Facebook, on the Facebook page saying we'd been to see it, and I think at that time I said this is the best movie of the year. Now I'm not taking anything away from Force Awakens, but I fucking loved Legend.
Yeah, Legend's an awesome film, and I did have it in there again to bookend your 5 and your 1. Basically, the same thing happened with Jurassic World. Me and Lindsay watched it the other night, and I wasn't quite I don't know if it's because I was watching it with her though. It was the first time she was watching it, and then like spoilers and that. But the scene when she basically does herself in, like I was kind of just sat there like, this doesn't mean anything to me anymore. Whereas when we went to the cinema, it was like, whoa. Until she started talking, she's like, "Now I know what you're thinking. If I'm narrating this movie, I'm going to be alive at the end." And I was like, oh, piss off. Like we've never seen the narrator die in a movie. Yeah, it didn't have quite the same effect. Although, Tom Hardy is just fucking immense. Yeah,
I've not seen the movie again yet. I'm dying to see it again.
It is still a good film. It's a brilliant film.
Yeah,
it's just something.
I loved the hell out of that movie, and that was my favourite movie of the year.
So your number one to my number one, also from one British movie to another British movie. My movie was released way back in January. Way back. That's how far back I'm going.
Wow.
And it was Kingsman: Secret Service.
Shit, was that 2015?
Yeah.
Oh, bollocks! I thought it was 2014.
No, it was made in 2014, but it was released in January over here, and it was released in February across the pond, and there was no way that movie wasn't going straight in at number one.
You know what? That would have been on my list, but I thought it was 2014. Never mind.
It was like number one with a bullet. I did, like, my heart did sink because I thought of it, and then I went to Wiki and all that, and it was like released in 2014, and I was like, oh man, but there must be like this big festival in America called Numb the Bum or something like that.
Oh dear.
You know that Harry Knowles? He does like...
It's a bit rapey.
He does like movie marathons, and he screened it during his movie marathon, but it was officially released in January. I put it straight in there, number one with a bullet. It was just fucking immense. I mean,
sweet. Yeah, I love that movie as well, as you know.
I raved about it to you for weeks and weeks. All I kept saying was the church scene, the church scene, the church scene.
Yeah, you did.
And the whole...
And when I eventually got round to because I didn't see it in the cinema, unfortunately, but when I got round to buying the Blu-ray, you just sort of said to me, right, give me a text after you've watched the church scene. And wow, that scene.
You get two massive things in that scene. You get that a phenomenal scene, which was just amazingly shot. And the whole way through, your eyes are like little like rabbits on a racetrack. You're trying to watch everything. You're watching the whole screen, trying to see what's going on. Like, oh my god, he's just done that. And then he walks out the cinema and he's shot in the out the church even, and he's shot in the fucking head. And you're just kind of like, what the fuck just happened there?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no way that movie wasn't going number one for me.
Fair play. Yeah, that's fair enough. That, to be fair, that probably would have pushed, I don't know, Jurassic World out my list. if I'd remembered about it as a 2015 movie.
So that's our top fives.
So have you got any honourable mentions?
Pretty solid top fives, I think. I do have honourable mentions. There was a few movies that, like Jurassic World was an honourable mention. Age of Ultron was an honourable mention. I had a movie called The Duff, which was a comedy that me and the wife watched.
I've never heard of that one.
And I had the likes of, I had Child 44 with Gary Oldman and Tom Hardy.
I've still never seen that.
I had, you're going to laugh at me, but I had Pitch Perfect too, because you know how much I love that movie.
Yeah, I know you like your Pitch Perfect.
Legend, Ultron, even Black Mass with Johnny Depp. It wasn't brilliant, but it was good enough to be, an honourable mention.
I've only got the one. And you're not going to agree with it, but it's Terminator Genesis. I know it's not considered good, but I liked it.
Just for that, I'm going to add my last honourable mention, which was Fantastic Four.
Oh, fuck yourself with Fantastic Four.
So what movies didn't you enjoy this year?
Fantastic Four.
That's like a worldwide kind of consensus, that is. What is it? Still sitting on like 4% on Rotten Tomatoes or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I didn't actually hate it. I thought the first hour...
Awkward prick.
I thought the first hour was quite good. The rest of the movie, not so much, but the first hour was good.
It was awful. For me, the only one that I've gone to see in the cinema and thought, fuck me, I need a beer.
Yeah.
After seeing that pile of shit. Was Fantastic Four.
Well,
so that's the only one I've got to complain about.
Well, I came up with a couple that I don't want to complain about, but I just want to put out there that people need to get a grip. These movies are crap. I had Focus way back in the start of the year with Will Smith and Margot Robbie.
I've not seen that.
If that's what we've got to look forward to in Suicide Squad, you can keep it. 50 Shades of Grey, obviously. I know your pal just put it in there, but I'm hoping that was a joke.
It was a joke, yeah.
I had Chappie.
I've not seen that either.
The Neil Blomkamp movie Chappie, just utter pish. Mad Max Fury Road, really just
actually, I would add that to my list as well, mate. Because I'd forgotten about that because, well,
obviously we're doing our list tonight, but all these websites like Digital Spy, Den of Geek, and all that, they're doing like their top 10s and stuff. Mad Max seems to be topping a lot of lists.
Yeah, no,
it was horrific.
To be fair, I didn't get all the way through the movie because about half an hour and I thought, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
I've got better things to do. It was crap.
Well, you're lucky you did.
From what I saw, it was crap.
And the last two, I had Terminator Genesis, obviously, and Pan.
Pan?
Yeah, Pan was...
The one that had Hugh Jackman in it?
Yeah, I watched it with the girls, and it is atrocious.
Is that a musical?
I didn't know it was a musical. Normally I'm okay with a musical if I know I'm going into one. Yeah, it turned into a musical and I sat there going, I'm out, I'm done. So that's our best and worst of the year. But I just wanted to do a quick rundown of some box office kind of stats for 2015. We didn't really do it last year, but basically the top 10 movies that were highest grossing in 2015. How many do you think you can get? 10
highest grossing?
The highest grossing movies of 2015, how many do you, obviously you're going to know like at least 4 or 5.
How many do I think I'll get? 4 or 5.
Have a crack.
Okay, Force Awakens.
Yes.
Spectre.
Number 2.
Do I have to do it in order?
No, it doesn't have to be in order, but
Spectre.
Force Awakens, as of New Year's Day, was sat in second place. Spectre's in there, yes, number 6.
Jurassic World.
Yep, number 1. Gone
Minions.
Blank. Minions, yes, well done. I wouldn't have said Minions.
How many am I on?
About
4.
4.
Oh, give me a minute. No, I've gone blank.
Right, so you got number 1 was Jurassic World. Number 2 was Star Wars. Number 3 was Furious 7. Number 4 was Age of Ultron.
Oh, fuck.
Number 5, Minions. Number 6, Spectre. Number 7...
I got Minions and I didn't get Age of Ultron. Fuck's sake.
Yep. Number 7 was Inside Out.
What the hell's that?
It's that one. It's the animated one with the people that live in the person's head and control her. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not got kids. I don't want to watch that shit.
8 was Mission Impossible. 9 was Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. 10 was The Martian. Yeah, it's not been a bad year. It's not been a bad year at all. Got some some records in there, but so basically the proper film record you want to talk about is Furious 7 became the fastest film to accrue 1 billion in ticket sales worldwide, doing so in 17 days. But this record was later surpassed by Jurassic World, and it done the same in 13 days. And then that was totally fucking smashed by Star Wars.
They're going to say Minions. Never mind.
I just wanted to put that in there because there's like 5 major stats on this page, and they all end with, and then that was smashed by Star Wars.
Yeah. That's pretty much the gist of Star Wars The Force Awakens, isn't it?
Yes. But the main thing is that this year in the cinema, I think it's like an estimated 11 billion that we've spent at the cinema this year.
Just in the UK?
No, that's like worldwide.
Right.
And for me, I think it's worldwide. For me,
more than that worldwide, surely.
I think it probably will be, actually. Because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the... no, it's about that. It's about 11 billion, yeah. But it's been a massive year, and I suppose the thing to do now would be to talk about the year ahead.
Hey, are you a jock that likes comics?
Are you a nerd that likes comics?
Do you feel left out sometimes?
Well, then we've got the show for you.
I'm Imran.
And I'm Anthony.
He's the jock.
And he's the nerd.
And we host the Jock and Nerd podcast at jockandnerd.com. If you're looking for fun, entertaining, laugh-out-loud geek chat over all the latest Marvel, DC shows and news, visit jockandnerd.com.
Full spoiler podcast, lots of swearing.
You're such a jock.
You're such a nerd.
Oh, come on.
Shut up, nerd.
Okay.
Let's rewind briefly and talk about. Aye.
That was me rewinding.
Or do you want to do 2016 movies and then go back and do TV shows, or do you want to stick with 2015 and do TV shows and then go to 2016?
We'll do the TV shows and then we'll go back to 2016.
So it's been an awesome year for movies.
It's
and cinema goers all over the planet. Awesome, happy days. Let's talk about TV. It's been a good ass year for TV shows as well.
It really has.
So we've not done a top 5 on this one. We're just going to crack away and see how much we send people to sleep. So what's been your favourite TV show of 2015 then?
My favourite TV show of 2015. I've not actually finished watching it, but I'm about I think I'm like 6 episodes in now, and you told me about it, and it's Bloodline.
Yeah.
I'm like I say, I'm not finished watching it, so maybe it's a bit stupid to be putting it on my list, but I've got a couple on my list I'm not finished watching, and I think Bloodline is just far and away.
It's addictive as hell, isn't it?
It's one of those shows that, yeah, it's fully addictive. I didn't expect it to be quite as good as you were making out and as everybody else was making out. But the guy, Kyle Chandler, who I loved, by the way, in Friday Night Lights, he is just amazing.
Is that like the eldest brother?
Yeah, the main brother.
Aye.
And what's his name? Ben Mendelsohn is just fucking... What is that to say about Ben Mendelsohn?
You know, he was the... I mean, I liked Kyle Chandler, but he was the highlight of it for me. He's
definitely the more intriguing of the two. He's the one you want to know more of and you want to see more of. But yeah, that show for me, and it's on Netflix if anybody wants to check it out. It's a good ass show, and apart from those two actors, it also has a fantastic surrounding cast anyway.
Definitely. Absolutely.
They all put in great parts.
I'd actually forgotten all about that. I love that show though. I can't wait for season 2 when it comes out. I'm not sure when it's coming out. I loved sticking with Netflix. I loved Daredevil. Obviously, I know you weren't too taken on with it. Daredevil was fucking fantastic. I know you did. For me, Jessica Jones just topped Daredevil.
Yeah, well, you knew that was going to happen.
I loved Jessica Jones.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought David Tennant was far and away the absolute superstar of the show. Definitely.
Yeah, I would say the woman who plays Jessica Jones and David Tennant had great sort of chemistry together. You know, the other guys in the cast were good, fair enough, but those two in particular, especially David Tennant, absolutely rocked the shit out of that.
He was unbelievable, and you weren't really expecting him to be as good as that.
I mean, that final episode on the scene on the docks. I'm not going to give it away in case nobody's seen it, but in case people haven't seen it. But the scene on the docks where that was sinister as hell.
It was.
So yeah, any other shows on Netflix?
Well, I suppose you've... On Netflix, no. I didn't have it. Well, I know it wasn't made in 2015 and it's been going for a few years, but this year we both absolutely binged a show on Netflix. We both took out a few months of our lives and just binged the hell out of a show that had 5 seasons, and that was Community.
That's right.
We were pretty much very much late to the party on that show, but my God.
And I've never stopped saying Coca-Cola yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean... I just could not get enough of that show.
Yeah, I was the same. Definitely. That was probably one of my favourite watches of 2015, even though it wasn't, as you say, it wasn't all made this year at all, but I agree with that, definitely.
TV shows that were made this year that kind of made an impression on me was Fear the Walking Dead. Obviously, we had the Walking Dead spin-off. I don't know if it's not necessarily made a good impression on me, but it's made an impression, and I will watch the second series and see how that goes. It wasn't fantastic. They need to pick up that game. You know, the mistakes you're making in the main show, you shouldn't be making in the spin-off at all, but they are. But good luck on the second series of that. I quite enjoyed Ballers when I finally got watching it with The Rock.
Yeah, sure.
When I finally,
I like that show.
I think I binged a few of them.
Because you weren't convinced on that, weren't you?
I wasn't at all. No.
Sure, because I finished that before you.
You did, yes.
And you weren't convinced about it.
Lindsay basically turned around and she was like, "Right, are we deleting this because we don't seem to be watching it?" And I was like, "I'll tell you what, leave it on there and I'll watch it." And I put in like a good couple hours and I binged it and then I got it done.
So would you then say that I was right and you were wrong?
Not really. I'd say it was watchable and it was good, but I was just kind of like, where's it going? What's it doing? I don't know if I want it to go anywhere or do anything, to be fair, but it was just something that, I don't know, it was a good show, good enough to watch, but The Rock can do better than that.
So I was right and you were wrong, basically.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, I loved Ballers. I mean, obviously there's Arrow and Flash.
Oh, they've both been excellent this year.
Which would you prefer? You obviously prefer Flash.
I think overall, I do prefer Flash, but I think this series, I think Arrow's kind of taken it just now.
Wow.
Definitely. But
I was not expecting that.
Overall, I'm still loving The Flash, but this year, definitely. I mean, last year, and it was a shame because last year the Arrow suffered because of The Flash, because it was the new show, and they kind of put all their eggs in the Flash basket.
They did, and to be fair, the writing and the story in that season wasn't as good.
No, it wasn't. And when you've got a character like Ra's al Ghul, that shouldn't be the case. It should not be the case. Yeah, but this series, they've picked up the game, the whole Ollie Fermer storyline, I'm loving that. It's getting a little bit less Batman-y now. I'm kind of feeling it doesn't feel as much like they're trying to make him Batman anymore. But yeah, this series so far, I'm putting Arrow above Flash.
Wow, I was not expecting that at all.
Although I'm still a huge Flash fan.
I'm a Flash fan as well. I still prefer Arrow though. That's just because Felicity, isn't it?
Not for much longer.
So, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. It did what it did.
It wasn't the best season.
No, I think
it was towards the end. It picked up its game towards the end, but I think it just felt like a lot of catch up for me, where we didn't really need it.
Yeah,
I spent like the first 2 episodes catching up with characters, and that's the first time it's done that, and it didn't need to do it.
No, I'm in the same.
You know, anybody who's got half a brain isn't going to watch a show called Game of Thrones. You'd have to have been living in a cave that you've not heard of this show, and you don't know that you need to go back and watch it from season 1. So if you're that much of a moron that you're going to go into season 5 of Game of Thrones and need 2 episodes of fucking catch up, like 2 episodes out of 10 of catch up,
aye.
Then no, no.
They did seem like they were wasting time.
Yeah,
it did feel that way. The only other
for Game of Thrones for me, it just felt like I was expecting something to happen the whole time.
Yeah, you kind of were, and then it didn't.
Yeah, basically.
I have 2 shows that I'm currently watching. One of them you're going to slap me in the face for, but History of Bad Ideas, could not stop talking about it. I think Blake was kind of taking his sweet ass time to watch it. Jeff couldn't be bothered with it, and Brigger, I don't know, I couldn't tell if he'd liked it or not, but I've started watching The Wayward Pines. The M. Night Shyamalan TV show. I'm not going to lie, there's a piece of me that's really enjoying that show.
Right.
I'm only about 4 or 5 in, but I'm actually quite enjoying it.
Yeah.
And the other show that I've recently just picked up and I've watched about 4 episodes of and I'm absolutely loving is AMC's It comes on after The Walking Dead, Into the Badlands.
I've never heard of that.
You have got to watch this. I think you would be right on it. I think you'd be into this. It's.
Is it on Sky?
Not quite yet. I'm having to watch it on the. But we will get it. we will get it, and I'm hoping it just maintains the kind of speed it's maintaining right now, because it's a good ass show. And if it starts dying off, I'm not going to be happy.
I'll watch that. The only other show. Did you watch the Muppets?
I started watching it, and then Ruby decided she didn't want to watch it anymore, so I wasn't allowed to watch it.
It's your house. What the fuck kind of sense does that make?
She's the eldest child. She gets what she wants.
Dear me. I loved it. It got better and better towards the end of the series as well. I think it was just a limited series.
Yeah. The stuff I did watch, I maybe only watched like 2 episodes, but the 2 episodes I did watch, I was kind of like, this isn't aimed at kids. This is aimed at me.
Yeah.
I was like, this is aimed at me. It's aimed at you. It's not aimed at children at all. The humour is brilliant. It was kind of like the TV show 30 Rock, but with Muppets in it.
Yeah, it was a little bit like that. It was.
And I did quite like that. It was just kind of the celebrity appearances were a bit shit. And yeah, Ruby just lost interest.
You didn't see the Dave Grohl versus Animal drum-off?
I watched the video on YouTube. I did watch that.
That was fucking awesome.
It was. They've been crying out to do that for years. Like, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I watched it on YouTube, and it was pretty damn good. Like,
I've always been a big fan of the Muppets. So when they announced that they were making a TV show again, so I watched that when I was a kid. I couldn't wait to watch that, and I think it definitely got stronger as it went on, so I can't wait for the new series of that. So the only other show that I'm going to mention, and similar to your Wayward Pines, you're probably going to want to slap me in the face for this one, but I'm calling it here. I'm actually not hating Supergirl. Shit! You know what? It didn't. I know the pilot and the first couple of episodes of the season, whatever, didn't start off strongly at all. I kept on watching it because of the lassie that's playing Supergirl. Not in a pervert way.
Never in a pervert way.
No, never that. But I thought she was doing a good job of playing Supergirl, so I thought, fuck it, I'm going to keep on watching it. Similar to the Muppets, it got stronger as the series went on, and you kind of saw. There were a few bits in it where, she was sort of like doing her eye shooty lasery thing.
Yeah.
And all that kind of thing. And I think that show's going to be good.
Yeah,
it's going to season 2, isn't it?
Think it's going to get stronger? I know
it already has. In my head, in my opinion, it already has.
I know it's been commissioned for the rest of the series, because they were basically saying that they were going to do like a Flash crossover, and they were saying the Flash would only do that if they got a full series, which is like 23 episodes.
Yeah.
And they now have a full series, but from what I read the last time, that's not happening now.
I'd actually kind of rather they didn't do that.
I would rather they didn't do that, because, yes, okay, Supergirl has a lot to gain from that, but what does the Flash have to gain from doing that?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know. It's kind of like, it's putting a celebrity guest in or something like that when the ratings are struggling, and I know the ratings haven't been great for Supergirl. In my opinion, anyway, and I'm never wrong, as you well know, I think the show has been getting stronger, and certainly the lass that's been playing Supergirl has been getting stronger in the role. Ally McBeal is good as well.
Ally McBeal is good as well. You mean the show?
Exactly. That should go on the T-shirt. Ally McBeal is good as well.
Right.
So yeah, I know that people will disagree with me, but I don't fucking care.
So while we're on the TV, before we move on to movies that we are looking forward to in 2016, because I don't have very many of these, what are you looking forward to next year? Is there a TV show that's really coming out?
TV-wise, well, The X-Files all the way.
Obviously.
Starts in January. I think it's a 6-episode run or 8-episode run. I can't remember which. I think it's 6. I can't wait.
Is that going to be enough for you?
No. But I can't wait to see it again.
I'm quite looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it coming out.
You know I'm a massive X-Files fan. It got weaker as it went on, as shows tend to do. But I can't fucking wait to see that. Obviously, we've got Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones coming. Walking Dead's coming back.
Yeah, Walking Dead.
See, I'm saying next year. It's fucking this year. Jesus,
it's this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
You fucked up with your dates already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Walking Dead. Fair enough. I mean,
I am looking forward to Walking Dead coming back.
We're gonna cover the Walking Dead in an episode in hopefully a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, we've got another episode
with a guest coming on. We'll talk about it then. I mean, it was an uneven series. I think it peaked with the episode where Carol was kicking ass.
Yeah.
As it always does. And then it kind of struggled from there. It kind of just went downhill from there, really.
It certainly
to be
did.
honest.
It certainly did.
They'll come. I mean, they've got Negan coming into it, so we'll see what happens there. I'm still on. I think I said this time last year. In fact, I definitely did. If Carol dies, I'm out.
Yeah, it's not going to happen anytime soon. That ain't going to happen. They ain't going to push that envelope too far. They're going to keep bait and switching Glenn, and because they're doing that, it'll be like, it's okay, we don't have to kill Carol because we keep killing Glenn every couple of episodes. So, they're okay. But, I mean, for me, 2016-wise, obviously Legends of Tomorrow is coming. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes, whether it's going to be the amazing thing we hope it's going to be, or it's going to be the absolute flaccid cock that it inevitably will turn out to be. I
don't know. I'm not really. I'll watch it. I'm not really sort of majorly looking forward to it. Like,
it's CW, it's DC. They've hit the mark with both Arrow and Flash, so let's hope they don't fuck this one up. The other thing I am looking forward to, though, is the American Crime Story. I'm looking forward to this starting.
Is this by the same guys who do American Horror Story?
Yeah, it's the same guys, but obviously they're moving away from they're not moving away, they're still doing the horror story, but they're doing American Crime Story, which is where they're going to be taking the first series is The People versus O.J. Simpson, which I think coming out the gate on your first series is going to be pretty fucking big. Like, I think it's going to be a good series. Cuba Gooding Jr. is O.J. though.
Shit.
I'm looking forward to it.
So that's going to be the whole series?
Yep, that's going to be the whole first series. But again, like with the likes of American Horror Story, they get the names in. In this they've got, like I say, they've got Cuba Gooding Jr. playing OJ, Sarah Paulson, who is an alumni of American Horror Story. She's going to be in there. John Travolta's in it. David Schwimmer's in it. Nathan Lane's in it. Jordana Brewster from Fast and the Furious, she's going to be in it. It's got a wicked little cast here, and I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah, definitely. I'll watch that.
I'm going to call it now. It's not going to be the best series of the year, but it's going to be in my list next year. I know fine well it is. If they do it right.
Think it could be like what True Detective just sucked at being.
Yes. Hopefully. God, yes.
I watched about half of the first season of that. I didn't watch any of the second season because Vince Vaughn was in it, and I thought, fuck that shit, I'm watching that. I
didn't actually mind the first series. Just something about it kept knocking the crap out of me. And I'm sitting there thinking, I know I should be loving this. I know this is the type of program I should be in love with, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
And then the second series was just a shower of shite.
Yeah, as soon as I read that Vince Vaughn was going to be in it, I fucking can't stand him.
Yeah.
Cannot stand him. So, I was out.
And of course, on your Netflix, you've got your Luke Cage series coming.
You've forgotten about one.
Daredevil.
Because you've got Daredevil Season 2, which is coming in March. So you've got
March?
The Punisher in there.
That early March?
Aye, I think they pushed it forward.
Wow.
So you've got the Punisher in there, and you've also got Elektra in there. I can't wait for Daredevil Season 2.
I've got more hope going into the second series than I did when I left the first series, if I'm honest. Like, I'm quite looking forward to seeing what they do in the second series, mostly because, John Bernthald's playing Punisher, so...
Well, yeah.
So I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah, fair enough. I was, that is always going to be good when he's playing the Punisher, so fingers crossed.
He's just built for it, man. He's made for it.
Yeah. He's going to be good in that. You've also got Jessica Jones Season 2, which is going to be coming.
Yeah.
Bloodline Season 2.
Yay.
There's another show called Marco Polo, which was good as well.
Ah, right, yeah, I never actually watched that. Everybody kept going on about
good.
it.
You should watch that. That is really good. Because that took me a while to watch that as well. Because I kind of thought it's based in Mongolian times, and I thought, meh. Yeah, so can't think of any others off the top of my head.
So that's 2016 TV. Do you have any movies you're looking for? I mean, I know it's going to be a slow year this year. 2016...
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I think the cinema's going to be struggling this year, to be perfectly honest.
It's going to struggle to keep up with 2015, isn't it? I mean,
but is there any like independent movies? Is there any movies to tell you? Because I looked down the list. I was like, I'm not looking forward to anything this year.
Don't talk shit, because on February the 12th we're getting Deadpool.
Yeah, February the 12th we got Deadpool, 100%. You know,
can't wait to see that.
That's a cinema release, that.
Yeah, I'll be at the cinema seeing that. I can't wait to see that. So I mean, you've got, in March, you've got Batman vs. Superman.
Woo-woo!
In May,
that's going to be the biggest film of the year, to be fair.
No, it's not. Because in May, you've got Captain America Civil War, which is going to wipe the fucking floor with Batman vs. Superman.
Oh, you.
Apparently, James Gunn has watched it, and he said Tom Holland is fucking superb as Spidey.
So so basically, if he's saying he's superb as Spidey, he's going to be a big part then.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because I hope he's not basing that off one tiny scene. Jesus Christ.
He just saw him swinging for like 30 seconds. And
yeah,
thought
exactly.
He's superb.
I bet that's what it is.
That kid's going to be a star, see? That was my James Gunn impression. I don't know if he sounds like that or not.
No.
Ugh. In July, you've got Ghostbusters. Ugh.
Yeah,
I think one of the biggies that I'm looking forward to, actually, in 2016 is Independence Day Resurgence.
Yeah, I really wasn't.
I actually fancy that. I do quite fancy that.
I wasn't until I saw that trailer when we went to see The Force Awakens, and I was like, you know what, I can get behind that movie. That actually looks pretty damn good.
It looks alright. I like how they've done it, where it's not a reboot or anything like that. They've killed off Will Smith. So that's Independence Day. I think I'll go and see that. Biggie for me is, apart from Captain America, is going to be Bourne 5 in July.
Yeah?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but you know, you're skipping Star Trek Beyond, and you just totally wipe your head with your hands.
That's actually, well, shut the fuck up, because July 16th is Bourne 5 and July 22nd is Star Trek Beyond. But also, fuck Star Trek Beyond. So,
yeah, we covered that on the last episode.
Well, you know what? I'm still on the huff, so I don't even know if I'm going to see it. I probably will, but I'm still on the huff.
And then obviously you've got your big release in August. You've got your Suicide Squad
in August. Yeah.
Again, biggest movie of the year. You know it's going to be.
You know what? I think this year, DC are just going to fucking blow it.
The thing is, though, everybody's expecting them to blow it. Everybody is expecting this not to go well. I am fucking holding on to every little last bit of hope I possibly can that they don't screw up. They probably will.
They probably will.
There's no two ways about it. They probably will. But as long as I come out of Batman vs Superman happier
Did you read? Obviously, I'm going to go and see them. You know, there's no way I'm not going to see Batman vs Superman. You know, it's the first time in history they've been on the big screen together. There's no fucking way I'm not going to see that. Did you read the theory? I don't know if it's a fan theory or what.
Fuck off with these theories, man.
I know. But listen, where somebody said that the stupid turtle-looking thing isn't actually Doomsday at all.
Well, who's it supposed to be then?
I don't know. I didn't read the whole thing.
Personally, I don't think it is Doomsday. I think it's Doomsday, but it's a version of Doomsday. Oh, shut up.
Shit. So shit. That is so shit.
Okay, then you've got October, you've got your Gambit movie, which I don't think anybody's really screaming for.
That's not even on here. Fuck. Is that the one with Channing Tatum?
Yeah, Channing Tatum, yeah. You got Underworld, the new Underworld movie. You got another Jack Reacher movie, whatever on earth that's getting made for. But November, I do think this could potentially be the movie that surprises everyone.
I think it's going to be good. Cumberbatch is going to be good. Shut up.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, Tilda Swinton as well, who we like.
Tilda Swinton, we do like her.
Also in November, you've got Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I'm on the fence on that one, I won't lie.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be seeing that.
I think people will see it. You know, I like Harry Potter, as you know, but I've not really got any real desire to see that. I don't think it needs it. And then December 16th, you've got Rogue One.
Do you think that's going to make the same money as...
No, it's not going to make the same money. It's not, no.
I don't think it's going to make anywhere near...
Of course it'll make money. It's Star Wars, but it's a standalone Star Wars movie, so, you know, people will go and see it, but I don't think it'll make the money that Episode 7.
And then you've got the likes of Assassin's Creed towards the end. I'm really not giving two hoots about that movie.
No.
And finishing off the year, Christmas Day, 2016, the Jumanji reboot.
Oh, fuck that.
Unbelievable. There's a whole host of other movies in there that we're not talking about. The likes of Magnificent Seven remakes coming out, which
really?
I'm not 100% sold on, but when I look at the cast list, I'm like, yeah, I could get behind that.
Who's in it?
Magnificent Seven, you've got the likes of Chris Pratt, Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, Vincent D'Onofrio, Peter Sarsgaard. You know, it's got a pretty good...
Yeah.
You look at the cast and you go, on paper, that should be good. Movie-wise, it'll probably be dink.
Stop saying dink, that's shit. It's a fucking awful word. Stop saying dink.
I'm quite, after having seen the trailer when I went to the cinema to see Force Awakens, I might be behind Legend of Tarzan now, because it's got, what's his name? Suke! You know, that guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing that.
I'll watch it on Netflix or something. I'm not going to cinema to see that shit.
X-Men Apocalypse back in May. I'm not really that fussed about that.
I will watch it again. I liked Days of Future Past. I did enjoy it. Probably the only X-Men I've enjoyed since X2.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Oliver Stone's having a pop at a Snowden movie. I'm assuming that's about what's his name, Snowden. Looks like Joseph Gordon-Levitt's going to play him.
Ugh, no.
Oh, it's got Timothy Olyphant in it though. Zachary Quinto, Nicolas Cage. Nah, okay.
That's going to be shit. He's going to be all starey and weird.
There's a movie called Keanu coming out. I'm assuming that's going to be about Keanu Reeves' life.
Yeah, well, what else would it be about?
I would hope not. Yeah, London Has Fallen. How could we forget about London Has Fallen?
Oh, shit, yeah.
Come on, man.
I'll see that. I will see that.
I am in on that one. Like, I'm totally.
Are they making a John Wick 2, or is that 2017?
I'll be 2017.
Yeah, I love John Wick.
Yeah, I've not watched it, but everybody keeps going on about it. And to be honest,
you'll probably not like it. So
coming out in a couple of weeks' time, you have that 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. I know it's Michael Bay, but I want to watch it. I do want to watch it.
I'm not watching that.
But then you also have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, and I wanted to end on that one.
That wasn't on the list. That wasn't on my digital spy list there.
There's a few big movies coming out. Is it going to be the same as last 2015?
Nah.
I'm predicting.
I think Born 5, Captain America.
Yeah.
I actually do fancy seeing Turtles 2 in the cinema.
Oh, definitely.
I won't lie.
I love the first one.
I think that was the surprise. Was that 2014?
That was 2014, yeah.
Aye. That was probably the surprise of the year for me because I did enjoy it.
I loved it.
I was expecting it to suck like Transformers sucked. So,
so we're going to move on to the last bit, which is going to be our personal best bits of 2015, both on the podcast and personally. That is the last bit, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on, though, NSP.
Hey there, kids. Do you want to hear a show where a bunch of guys sit around in a comic book store and talk about comics and lifestyle choices, other goofy things and shenanigans they get up to? Then
when have we ever talked about comics? Usually it's people sitting on my lap and riding the struggle bus.
That's true. It's mostly shenanigans. But occasionally we talk about comics. And if you like any of those things, comics, shenanigans, Devin's lap, then you need to check out Snake Oil Comics with me, Travis, and my beautiful co-host, Big Dev.
Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and snakeoilcomics.com.
Basically going to be our best bits of the year over the last 12 months. Before I do that, though, I do want to take... we're going to end on the best bits because this bit's going to be a little bit of a downer. But we've had a few people drop off this year. We've had a few big actors, a few died, and we always say that when somebody dies that we'll mention it on the next episode, and we never do.
We kind of do.
We do sometimes. So I thought, just for a quick 2 seconds, I'll just mention some of the people that have died in the industry this year. You know, some of the ones that we're bothered about. Not to say that we're not bothered about the rest of them, because when I looked at the list, there was a shit-tillion of them this year. There's been quite a lot of people have gone this year. But we'll just start off back in February. You know, live long and prosper. Spock himself, Leonard Nimoy, passed.
Fuck, was that all the way back in February?
Yeah,
Jesus.
Back in February. Christopher Lee in June.
Mm-hmm.
Omar Sharif, big man from Lawrence of Arabia. Rowdy Roddy Piper passed in July.
Yeah.
I don't want to get this wrong, but did Cody Rhodes go as well?
Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, no, Dusty Rhodes, sorry.
No, his dad did.
Aye, Dusty
Cody
Rhodes
is still,
aye.
Yeah, alive, yeah.
Aye, Dusty Rhodes passed as well. Wes Craven, The Man That Was, in August.
Mm-hmm.
Gunnar Hansen, the guy, Robert, I'm going to fail on this name here, by the way. I want to say Robert Loggia, played Feech in Sopranos. Played Feech in Sopranos. He was in Scarface as well. Yeah, he passed. And the man who played the original voice in Empire Strikes Back of Boba Fett.
Yeah, that was just the other day, wasn't it?
Jason Wingreen passed the other day. And then, of course, Lemmy, but I'm not a big Motorhead fan, so... But everybody's going on about it.
I don't think you need to be.
It probably is a big miss because there'll be no more Triple H theme tunes.
Well, that's it.
But yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time on that. It's just that we always say that we'll mention it, and then half the time we forget because that is what we are like, which is a lackadaisical podcast. But I thought I'd mention it, put it out there, and then we will move on to the best parts of 365 Flicks podcast 2015. What have you enjoyed, mate? It's been a pretty solid year for us.
It's been a solid ass year for us, yeah. I've said to you a few times, for anybody who doesn't know, I run my own business and it's been a stressful last year.
Yeah.
And the 365 podcast has been a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel for me, I won't lie. So, episodes like, say, when we did the favourite theme songs.
I was just literally looking at that episode.
I love that shit. Doing the team ups with Jock and Nerd, with Hobie, with the Dallas action. That's such an interesting subject.
Oh, aye.
And I could listen to Doug and Martin talk all day about that.
And dare I say it, when I finished I'm not going to say it actually. When the second episode went out there, I did for a second think trilogy. Yeah, I think we've covered that.
Well, the whole sort of because obviously Doug has got his own show, the Dallas Action.
Aye.
So if anybody is interested in the subject after listening to our 2 episodes, which why wouldn't you be?
Obviously, we're listening to our 2, and then
check out the Dallas Action because Doug does weekly episodes on that where he covers different characters involved with the whole thing, different generals and different people involved, and he's got different guests on every week and all of that kind of thing. So if anybody's interested in the subject after listening to them speak to us, then check out the Dallas Action because that's an awesome podcast.
I've listened to a couple of episodes when you first put them on for me,
happened?
And when you said we need to make this happen, I was kind of like, well, I really need to go and listen to a few episodes first then before we do this. I concur, yes. You need to be listening to them. If you haven't listened to our episodes, listen to those episodes first, obviously, and then pop over to the Dallas Action and give them a listen.
Definitely.
The thing I always liked about when we done the top 5, the soundtracks, you mentioned it a couple of minutes ago. I love the fact that became like a 3-episode arc. And I only bring this up because you lost, basically. You lost. We did that, and you bring up like Wicked Wild Wild West being one of your favorite like theme songs. I can't remember if you put it in number 1, but you put it in your top 5, which is bad.
It was in the top 5, yeah.
Which is bad enough. And by the way, we did have Ash on that episode as well. One of our good friends, Ash. We did that episode. You put that in your top 10, and then we decided that we would come back in episode 8 for, I think we did the best big screen Batman. But it was niggling me. This Wicked Wild Wild West was niggling away like a little child in the back of my head. So we came back a few episodes later and we done the debate. And
we did. That was a good episode as well. I thought. I know episode. That technically I lost, but it was a moral victory for me. I won't lie.
There's no technically. You lost. You lost.
It was a fix.
It wasn't a fix. So how could it be a fix?
Because it was. Well, you see, that's why I've started doing the listener poop shoots myself. Because I don't trust you fuck, after that. Because I think you fixed it. I think I won.
And around about that time, we did the big debate, Iron Man 3 versus Dark Knight Rises. I won that. And then obviously you had to do the forfeit, which was to sing Wicked Wild Wild West.
Don't you fucking put that clip in this episode, you bastard. Because you put it in the fucking... The Hobie segment for the Floppy Awards, you son of a bitch.
I love that as well. The Hobie Awards. the Floppy Awards. I absolutely loved recording that with you, and we took that so serious.
We did, yeah. Because I started listening to that episode and I thought, oh, we've gone overboard here. Because we went full on proper Oscars mode.
We had the Oscar music in the background.
Started doing things like "That's right, Kevin," etc.
I had the nominations being timed correctly for the music. It was it was a painstaking ordeal.
That was awesome. Well, that was cool to be asked to do that.
It was.
Even the team up with Hobie and Graphic Novice.
Oh, the Nicolas Cage.
Was cool as hell
that
as
was
well.
amazing. That absolutely.
Obviously, speaking to Shah and Gary on that episode was awesome as well. It's
well, that was another thing. Like way back, like when we started this, we didn't think it was going to be huge, or we didn't think it was going to be big. I mean, I'm not saying it is big or huge, but we didn't really think it was going to be anything. We thought it was going to be us two sitting down talking about movies we love, movies we hate. We thought that's it. And then I think somewhere along the line I started getting ideas above my station. So I started contacting people. And we eventually got an invite and got on the guest list to a Comic-Con, which was just insane for us. That was insane. There's no other way to put it.
Was that July we went to?
That
was
Comic-Con?
June or July?
Back in July. Yeah, Glasgow was back in July.
We were invited to
mental,
go up and be on the guest list and all that, because we happened to say to them that we hadn't been to a con event before. So yeah, we were invited to go up to it, and it was so cool.
It was cool.
It was just probably, I would say, the second best weekend ever.
Yes, definitely the second weekend.
Because of the Showmasters event, or the Showmasters weekend that followed that, which was my highlight of the year, which was when we went to Newcastle Film and Comic-Con.
Yes.
And we were fitted with press passes and got to interview the likes of David Prowse, the original and best Darth Vader, and Kate Dickie, Tom Burke, Ian Beattie.
Oh, man.
It was just fantastic. And I bought my samurai sword and spent a fortune on T-shirts and a bloody Thundercats thing for my wall, and I was just like a little kid when I went in there.
Yeah, I have to say, we always... It can be said that after every episode we do, we kind of sit back and we go, "Oh, that was amazing. That was the best. That was the best episode yet." Which is a bit biased because we say that every episode. That was the best episode yet. I do. Chris kind of comes in and we do the recording. We do all the prep. We do all the recording, and then I kind of do the editing. And I don't think I've ever been so proud as when I was editing that episode with the interviews. And I was listening back to it, and I'm sat there going, "Oh my god, we actually interviewed someone! We are just two idiots, and we interviewed people."
yeah, that's right.
And when I finished editing that, I went to Libsyn. I started uploading the episode. I started writing all the things, and there was a piece of me for a split second, a little piece of me that thought, "I'm not putting this out there. I'm keeping this." But you can't do that, can you?
No, you can't do that.
I did for a second there. I was like, I'm keeping this. One of the big things I've loved about this whole thing as well is, we done the crossover episodes with the Dallas Action, with the Jock and Nerd. We got Shah from BHP Comics on, because they don't like being called that now, do they? And Gary...
They don't like being called it, they just sort of rebranded it.
Yeah, they rebranded. Yeah. Gary came on, who was the writer of the comic those guys gave us to review, which, getting a review copy of a comic wasn't something that we thought would happen. It's all those things. It's everything we've done so far, and the networks that we've joined, like Musings of the Geek, the Tangent Bound, Wicked Radio, Nerdly, Weeby Geeks, Geeky Antics Network, we've joined a nice little community here, and I think for me, the episodes are the thing. But I love that as well. I love the little network we've made. I love the little community we're involved in. And that's definitely what podcasting's about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I speak to the guys, the guys from Wicked Radio and Tangent Bound all the time on the Facebooks. Devin, Mark, obviously the guys from Hobie, Joe from Another Damn Wrestling Show.
Yeah.
It's just, I would agree with you completely there, Kev. It's just so cool being part of that.
And it all started from us two, like, starting a website.
Sat pissed watching Empire Strikes Back one night. Basically, we should record this, you know.
Basically, it was
that is basically how it started.
Well, it started with a website, and then the website was kind of like, oh, really? I've got to write this?
Yeah.
Then we were getting, like, mildly hammered watching Empire for, like, the millionth time. Not really watching it, though, just talking over the top of it.
Well, to be fair, that never happens.
And then I'm pretty sure it was like, you know what? This is better than writing. It's like...
That's the thing with writing, because, you know, I enjoyed writing the stuff for the website.
Yeah.
There was always the sort of the... You know, when you're writing stuff out and all that kind of thing, and you know, you've got a way that you want to make it sound in your head, but it's like conveying that...
Yeah, it never quite looks that way onto the page. Yeah.
You know, and I know you can bold stuff and put stuff in italics and all that kind of thing, but then there are morons everywhere who's not going to pick up on that.
Yeah, they're not going to get your sarcasm on the page, are they? But they totally get it. They totally...
You know, they won't get that kind of thing.
No.
So...
I'm saying they totally get it. They should totally get it, but some of those morons don't.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
But, I mean, we've had a cracking year. Hopefully it's going to be another cracking year, you know. But yeah, I love everything we're doing, and I think we just need to crack on. And I think 2016 is going to be a good year.
2016 is going to be another big year for us. And
we've got many, many good films coming out. We've got many irons on the fire, and I've got some pretty out there ideas for you. Like,
oh, I know you have.
Oh yes,
and they're not even the ones that you're not lying awake at fucking 4 a.m. thinking about that you won't tell me about.
I know, man. I know. I'm very restless right now. Very, very restless.
Is that why you're growing the beard? Like maybe the beard will like weigh you down.
I'm hoping it's going to be like a I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be a huge year.
It is.
We've already got a few episodes that we're trying to figure out where we're going to squeeze them in. We said it at the start, I'm going to say it again. I want to extend a thank you to everybody who's listened so far, to everybody who's going to continue to listen. If you could possibly get yourself onto the iTunes and leave us a little review on there, that would be pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Right now I'm sick of making up different email addresses just so I can write new reviews. I don't.
You shouldn't be telling people that.
I don't do that. If you want to contact us, you want to speak to us, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. There's like a whole host of ways you can find us. Just find us and just let us know and speak to us. And if you want to get involved, but that's where we are. And we are 365Flicks podcast. That was 2015. This is 2016. That's been the roundup. And how do you feel about that, Chris?
I'm pretty happy with that.
You happy with that?
Yeah.
Nice way to end it.
Awesome way to end it.
Yeah. And I know Brigger is hoping for a Paul Blart 3.
Yeah, it'll come. I'm sure he's got his like Kickstarter. Yeah, Brigger, if you want to launch a Kickstarter for Paul Blart 3, we'll donate to that, because I know you feel very, very strongly about this.
We will definitely donate to that. In fact, I think we should start it in his name, and everybody gets a free T-shirt. So do you want to end it there?
Yeah, let's end it there.
Right, well, I'll let you take us out then.
So that's been episode 25 of the 365Flicks podcast. Thank you again for listening. Episode 26 coming to you very, very soon. We don't know what we're doing yet, but it'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
You are now leading the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.